All right, so just in a few minutes here, Vanessa Rousso, we will be joined by our special guest. And like I said, if I'm playing a little bit on the tighter side, it's just going to be because I'm just so excited to have her on, and I'm going to want to ask her a whole bunch of questions. And like, who cares about poker when Vanessa Russo's here to talk about her awesome experience? Hopefully awesome. I mean, it's still pretty fresh that she bubbled 500K and 50K, but hopefully she can still look back on it as a fun experience. I know when Tiffany and I first finished the race, we were just, it was obviously a little bittersweet. We had hoped that we would do better, but you also kind of have to sit back and really think about what an amazing once in a lifetime experience you just had, and just be really grateful to go on such an adventure. So I'm sure that's kind of how she's feeling, hopefully. Okay, just tweeted my hashtag pokerface contest and put it out in the Twitterverse. All right, 10-4. I posted behind the button here. I usually feel like, you know what, if it's folded to you and you've posted, you might as well raise it. Might as well give yourself a chance to win this pot. Maria Homeboy's in the house. Haha, that's funny. Oh, no, I do like a 4-color deck. I just don't know how to do that on here. I don't play on WSOP.com a lot. I will try to change it after this hand, though. Well, let's see. 3 clubs on the flop, and I have the 10 of clubs, so you know what? Why not bet here on a semi-bluff? Hopefully, Chen123 doesn't have a better club than me here. All right, let's go to table options. Settings. How do we get game settings? Game display? If you guys know how to change this, ooh, choose my deck. Choose my card's face. Choose 4-color deck. Is that better? Does this mean that it's a 4-color deck? I don't know. Why not? Why not try it? Hopefully. I think that might be it. We'll see. Hi, Johnny. Look, no. Some of you guys have very hard screen names to pronounce. Hustle and Cuss wants to know generally who are more friendly, male or female pros. You know, it's hard to say, to be honest. I think if you want to generalize, I guess maybe females, because I just think, you know, guys are naturally, I think, a lot more competitive than women, and so I think when they sit down at a poker table, they're just all business, and they don't necessarily want to make small talk and chat with their neighbors. But I know firsthand from every ladies event that I've ever played that it's definitely a much more friendlier, talkative vibe amongst the women than it is in open events. So I guess women, but you know, I've encountered some really friendly, awesome, nice male poker players and female pros alike. So it's kind of hard to say. On the reg. Yep, I can still hear Vanessa laughing, actually. She's just next door doing another interview, and I could hear her just laughing away. Yes, I believe they do accept PayPal. I think you're asking about Twitch. I'm not sure. I forgot to pucker my lips as Pocky Poker. Yeah, I'm not a big duck face selfie kind of person, so I feel like my poker face in the picture that I just submitted, at least, was much more of a like, what do you have? Are you trying to bluff me? don't mess with me kind of poker face. All right, so what do you guys think? I think I'm about ready to decide on a name for all y'all. So do we like, these are the two that I've narrowed it down to so far. Ooh, guess what, guys? Guess who just snuck into her own office here?
What's up?
Wait, no, you gotta go right here.
Okay. Wait, do I get a chair?
Yes. Do you? Let's get. Do you
let's
want to?
do
Here,
this.
we'll scoot this over.
All right. We are
And-
making a makeshift interview area.
All right. I guess we have officially now been joined by Vanessa Rousso.
What's up?
She just actually got off another interview. I hope you're ready to talk some more.
Sure.
But if you want to see, people will be asking questions in this chat right here, so you can just feel free
Gotcha.
to kind of answer. We're on a 4-minute delay because I'm also playing cash game in the background. But really, we are just here to talk to you about your experience on Big Brother.
All right.
And just in general, what your thoughts are on the similarities that you found between the way you approach poker and the way that you approach Big Brother. So
For sure.
take the floor. Tell us how you feel just being around other
People,
people.
yeah, you guys saw me. So when you came to the door, I was obviously really happy just to see my friends and talk to people. And Maria can relate, obviously, because she was on The Amazing Race, and you know what it's like to be secluded from people and your phone and your contacts. And I don't know, like, I was around only the Big Brother house guests for 100 days, plus 7 days of sequester before that. Like, that's almost 4 months. That's so long without being able to, like, talk to people. I mean, like, I miss the poker world, and I miss, like, my friends and talking to people in life. And so I'm just in a good energy place.
So how do you, I don't know if everyone out there knows, but congratulations.
Thank you. Yep.
Someone
got
put a
engaged.
ring on it.
Yes, she did.
She liked it, so she put a ring on it, guys. She just got engaged right after the show, so congrats to her.
Thank
and,
you.
Mel, her partner. So yeah, do you guys have a date? What's the...
We didn't set a date yet, but it'll be soon. We're looking, so one of the cool things that happened while I was in the Big Brother house, the biggest piece of news for me to get while I was the second I was out, was gay marriage was apparently legalized nationwide.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
Kind of applicable to your situation.
Right. So obviously, like, the cool part is now we could get married anywhere, and so we're just, like, looking at options and deciding, and it's amazing. I'm, totally in love, and, we've been together more than 2 years and 4 months now, and so it's the right time. And being in that house without her for so long as my support system just put things squarely into perspective about just how important a part of my life she is. And I was actually planning on asking her, and the fact that she surprised me and asked me was a total surprise. And being girls, we don't know, like, what's the protocol.
Yeah.
Like, who is supposed to ask who?
But I think
it's
it's just, like,
confusing.
whoever's feeling it in the moment,
So
you
she
know
felt
what I
it
mean?
first in the moment she got me, and so we're figuring it out as we go.
Well, I don't know. Did you say I love you to her first? Because I feel like then it just evens out. If you were the first person to say I love you, then she could be the first.
Slipped, actually. That was funny. She accidentally
Oh, so she
said
was
I love
gonna
you
make her
first.
do all the work
She said
then.
it and did this. Literally, it slips out of her mouth, and she literally, like, smacked herself in the face, and she was like, did I just say, she was, like, only, like, I don't know, 6 weeks in or something, and so she was embarrassed that it came out, but then I said it back, so she felt it.
You were already feeling it.
I was already feeling
yeah.
it. It was, like, basically love at first sight, so yes.
Okay. I mean, everybody who watches Big Brother obviously know how you ended up doing. You got third place. It's obviously a huge money bubble that you were on.
Poker players get it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we can all kind of relate to when you know that, first, all the money's up top. This was kind of a winner take all, with second place getting $50,000. So, I mean, how did it feel in that moment? I mean, compared to all the other times that you've been in a situation via poker to win millions of dollars.
So there's comparisons and contrasts. Like, on the one hand, this was, if you're going to compare it to a tournament, one heck of a long tournament. Like, whoa, 98 days. Like, it's you.
And you have to try to play your A game the
The
entire
whole,
time.
and there's never an off time. There's no breaks.
Right.
No 15-minute breaks every 2 hours. None of that.
Right.
So it was, in that regard, a little harder. Monetarily, I've been on bubbles just that big before, so that I'm used to dealing with that. And, but I had invested so much of my entire being into this that it was obviously a letdown. However, that is something I can thank the poker world for. Being a poker player for the last almost 10 years, I'm getting old now, definitely prepared me emotionally to deal with it and have a positive attitude about it. Look at what I can be grateful for regarding the experience. And, so many people would have killed to be on the show and have that opportunity. It was so incredibly challenging and awesome of an experience. I mean, I would do it again, even though, it didn't work out results-wise the way I would have wanted. So yeah, it wasn't monetarily what I was hoping for, but the best compliment and consolation I ever could have gotten was that when I came out of the house, so many people, I had an outpouring of support from fans, whether it was people telling me that strategically they thought, they respected my game. That was an unbelievable consolation prize. And beyond that, a lot of people reached out to me and told me, had written me inspirational messages about just how I gave them the strength to come out, being a gay person, and showed them that it's okay to, be gay, and you could and be out about it, and you can still be successful. And I mean, just the things people wrote to me about how I helped, certain people in their maybe family get more accepting of the idea. It was, I obviously, anyone who watches the show knows that I cry. A lot of these letters actually brought tears to my eyes, and it was extremely touching, and the best prize, better than any amount of money.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, I feel like obviously people have no idea what it would be like to be in that situation. So whether being super emotional is definitely going to be a part of it. I know when Tiffany and I watched Amazing Race on TV, we're like, yeah, we could do that. Like, that looks easy. And then we got there and it's a completely different story, So unless they walked a mile in your shoes, like, there's just no way that they would be able to.
It's so easy to sit from home and judge, without being. It's way harder than it looks, folks. Like, so hard. Plus, you're used to seeing, like, girls like us especially play poker on TV. We have our poker face on. We're all tough. You don't see that when we go home, we have emotions and we process them just like any other human being. Not even just women. I mean, anyone who plays poker for a living, you only see our strategy face. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes, how we deal with the emotional ramifications of what goes on. Well, in Big Brother, it's on 24 hours a day, and there's no escape route, there's no privacy, there's none of that. So I had to deal emotionally and process things that were tough, and fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of that you guys saw, and I just stand by it. It's who I am as a human being. It's just what you're not used to seeing because you only usually see the strategist in me.
Right. Well, so speaking of strategy, though, everybody knows that you are very familiar with game theory, and you've studied, on the poker side of things, you've studied in order to be the good player that you are. So how kind of did that factor into the way that you studied for Big Brother? I mean, did you watch past episodes and seasons? Did you mirror your game after another player? Like, what did you going into it? How did you kind of hone your strategist poker mind?
Going into it to prepare?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I watched a lot of footage, and then from watching the footage, I would develop guidelines for my game. And then I had basically a rough roadmap for what I wanted to do going in. And just in a nutshell, my goal going in, my strategy was I wanted to create an overlapping umbrella of alliances representing roughly 70% of the people in the house. I wanted to leave 30 to 40% of the people out of the alliance so that I always had people I could target without having conflicting loyalties. And then on the other side of the house of people I'm aligned with, I wanted to create 2 or 3 intersecting alliances. When I say intersecting, meaning that they would have myself and maybe one other person in common in those alliances that wouldn't know about each other. And that really worked for me. And the goal also was to pair up with people that were good competitors, so they could win comps and we could take down the most HOHs and control the direction of the house. And B, people that were bigger targets than myself. So showmances, the twins, people that were perceived as super fans. These are all people that should theoretically be bigger targets than myself if I play it right. And so that was the idea behind who I decided to partner with and the alliances I decided to form. And I kind of stuck to that big game plan. At one point in the game, once Shelly and Clay went and my alliance with them kind of obviously fell apart once they're gone, I had to kind of reorient and then create a new side alliance. But I still stuck to that same basic overarching strategy of having these overlapping alliances with myself sitting at the intersection.
Right. So a lot of people, obviously, I'm sure you know this, in blogs and forums, they all call you one of the best Big Brother players of all time. And somebody had actually asked a question about, do you think if you had gotten to the final two, would you have been willing to make a deal, knowing though that you've played the game that you've played up until that point, and you felt really good and about where you